Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm finally getting around to doing a review for Black Bullet, light novel volume 5. With this one, well, first of all, it's kind of depressing to hear that he's been on hiatus for such a long time that volume 7 is going to be the last one that's going to come out. I don't think he's going to do any more. No, he's basically turned into a ghost. No one's heard from him in, like I said, about a year. So I think the series, it's not finished, but I think you can safely say that it's finished. Per se. With volume 5, I liked where he went with it in a way. I like the fact that the hero doesn't stay like the hero forever. Like, now he's not evil by any means, but he is a fugitive now. The city is basically turned on this hero, and I kind of like stories like that, where it's not just so cliche and the hero just gets whatever he wants all the time, and life is just hunky-dory for him, and like a lot of things do, like, okay, he's a hero, and everybody loves him, and everything just goes his way, and falls into place, and he just, this one's not like that. It kind of, it villainizes him, it frames him, basically, for something that he didn't do, of course, but the city's after him. The Seitenchi, hasn't turned against him per se, but for political reasons, kind of turned against him. So with that said, I like it. I mean, the main plot has semi-changed. Like I said, the main plot used to be he's saving Tokyo City from the Gastrea, and he's done a lot since then. He's defeated a stage 5, he's defeated a rank 198 pair, he's defeated Tina, saved the Seitenchi. Now he's a fugitive on the run for something that he did not do. Now, I just wish that it did introduce the character a little bit more, the one that, that he was framed for killing. But, I can understand why he didn't. I mean, if you're just going to kill the guy off immediately, why make you like him? Why make you know about this guy who's going to be dead in, a chapter anyways? Doesn't really make too much sense, from my standpoint at least. So they make you kind of know that this guy is going through something, and he has people after him for something that you don't want to know. And I did feel like I was like, okay, well, what does he know? I really want to know. And so he starts kind of uncovering these projects that are like Black Book, top secret projects that aren't supposed to exist, and he gets involved with that, and that's what gets him involved with everything. Character development, I don't feel like there was much character development from in the past. Most everybody stayed the same, honestly. The only one who kind of changed, who you saw something so evil from, was Kisara. She basically, you knew she was kind of like out for revenge and stuff, but you actually saw her take revenge and stuff like that in these past few books. And you realize, wow, this woman is extremely evil when she wants to be. She has no problem killing anybody, including what was her brother, for revenge for her parents' deaths. So she's the only one I feel that had any character development. Rentaro's kind of still the airhead, doesn't understand things. They are still poor. The backlog for that is that they had a high debt with the mob, which I guess you can understand because obviously they had to borrow money from people in order to keep their business financed and in order to stay alive, because they never had any jobs that were real good. I mean, they always had some sort of reason. So, you can kind of understand they had to borrow money. I mean, if you, in real life, a bank's not going to loan you money if you don't have any way to pay it back or any kind of steady income. So it's kind of the same thing here. So who are you going to go to? They went to, like, the mob. I mean, they're still poor and everything. The artwork is still the same. It's still really nicely done. I mean, as you can see by the front cover of this one. Illustration, Saki Ukai still does it. Let's see. There we go. I mean, this dude's just pure creepy. You know, he's probably one of the main villains from the very beginning when he tries to get Kisara away from Rentaro. And I don't think he really needed to make you like that guy. In the beginning, they kind of introduced him, and he was just kind of like real slimy and snaky, and you already got the feeling you're like, I don't like this guy. You know, he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the new villain, and they're out of villains. I mean, everybody's defeated, so you have to introduce a new villain. They give a little bit of a backstory on him. Not too much. That, you know, his father's a commissioner, and he's pretty high up there in the police and stuff like that. Their family's pretty well-to-do. They hate the Tendos, so it fits Kisara's plan. And that's kind of what draws them together. Their childhood kind of, you know, partners or whatever. But you already know this dude's gonna be the villain just because he's trying to steal Kisara away. I mean, that's the same plot kind of with almost every other anime out there, so to say. Would I recommend this? I mean, yes, I would recommend reading this if you really like the story, because it introduces a new aspect of it. You know, like I said, instead of the hero, he's on the run now, and I am curious to see how he is going to expose what's going on, considering basically almost every single lifeline he has been cut off. And he's run into this new group of like super soldiers, basically, that are supposed to be more powerful than him. So I'm curious to know how he's gonna reveal it and what he's gonna do, since all of his access has been cut off to everything. He no longer has his initiator, Enju. He no longer has Tina. He's temporarily partnered up with another initiator, who is the initiator of the dead guy, his friend. But she doesn't really know anything because his friend hid everything from her to protect her from this group. So it leaves you with like, wow, okay, so what's gonna happen? And I don't know. It leaves you off with Kisara thinking he's dead and about to marry this dude, and you're just kind of, you know, there. So I'll read volume 6. I will read 7, just because it's out and I want to see how far it gets. And I really hope that he comes back from a hiatus, but very, 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 very unlikely. So if you don't mind a book stopping, you know, abruptly, I don't know how abruptly, because I don't know how far he got in volume 7, then pick up the book, read it for what it is, and just expect that it's going to end at some point around volume 7 before the story's actually finished. And that's, you know, what you can expect, and that's pretty much all there is to it. But anyways, so here's kind of the synopsis anyways. I always do this for people who want to see what they might be getting themselves into reading. Let me try and, there we go. Oh, it's not any better. Let me angle the GoPro up. Hold on. There we go. So, you know, he can't just live out the rest of his world in peace. That would make a very boring book. I wouldn't read it if all of a sudden everything was super peaceful for them, and I don't know, I'm not into that. I'm more into action, which there is a lot of action in this. The talking scenes and stuff are your normal talking scenes. When the action gets going, though, it is a lot. There is a lot of action. It is very well detailed and gory and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, typical Black Bullet style. What else can I say about it? I recommend it, especially if you've already started reading it. Keep going. It brings just a new aspect to the story. That's all it does. Some people, you know, might not like that the hero is also in the fugitive, or whatever, but I find it a nice change of pace. Yeah, so that concludes my review for Black Bullet, Rentaro Satomi Fugitive, which is volume 5 of this series. It goes up to 7. If you have any questions or comments, comment below. Otherwise, if you liked the video, thumbs up and subscribe for more. I'll talk to you later.